Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode. This one is really awesome, guys. It is one of our former clients. This is a success story on how Sarah, approaching the age of 40, was trying to have her second child and was experiencing secondary infertility. After months of trying, she decided to reach out to us because she was just baffled. She had no issues getting pregnant the first time, literally got pregnant right away, a lot quicker than she thought she would. And so she thought it would be just as easy the second time around. But to her dismay, it was not. And after doing some of our treatments and taking some of our coaching advice, she was successful. So listen to the story. It's very motivating and uplifting, and just a really good, feel-good listen.
Welcome to the Fertility Happy Hour. We are Sandra and Leanne, your fertility besties, here to bring some fun and laughter to your fertility journey, and of course, lots of tips, hints, and tricks. So kick back with your favorite mocktail or a cocktail, and let's have some fun. So here we are with, we're Sandra and Leanne, and we are talking with Sarah. I won't give your last name just in case you don't want to be exposed, but Sarah is one of our previous clients, and she kind of went through our treatment sessions and worked with Sandra and I, and she became pregnant, and she's a proud mama of a little boy. And we just wanted to touch base with her and kind of go back to where she was before working with us, and kind of see where she is now, and most importantly, like what transition, like what were you able to accomplish, and how you moved from maybe someone that was struggling to someone that was successful, because a lot of our clients don't feel that transition is possible for them, and maybe just providing some hope would be really beneficial for them to hear. So maybe you could just start off with like what you were feeling or what your mindset was prior to meeting us, and kind of in your struggling days.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, my age was obviously a big factor. I was turning 40 and I knew that the clock was ticking. COVID really kind of threw a wrench in our family planning because we delayed. So because of that, I felt more of an urgency to get pregnant. And um, the first time around when I had my daughter, it happened very quickly, and it was almost like unexpected that it was so easy, but I was also 5 years younger. And I think I was starting to feel hopeless. We had been trying for 5 or 6 months and nothing was happening. And I think about 4 months into that time period, my friend told me about Sandra, who we were friends with, and your practice and what you were doing. And that was so interesting to me because I think I was already trying to do as much as I could on my own to get my body ready to conceive, do everything that I could to ensure that that could happen. So, eating organically, being careful with how much I drank, not drinking too much coffee, things that I read, taking care of myself, sleep, but there's only so much you can do. And I didn't know if that was going to be enough. So when I learned more about your practice and we, talked, I felt really inspired by the fact that both of you had children in your 40s. So that was already like, okay, this is feasible. I'm not the only one who, is trying to do this. Like I can be successful. It just could take more time. So I felt really good about just like the dialogue about you explaining the treatment and how successful it can be. And I just like, I felt that trust, that connection, and then also interested in like the plan that went along with it, right? Like the vitamins, the hormonal alignment, the things that I hadn't necessarily, like I was taking a prenatal, but there were other things that I could be doing to help my body better that I was not necessarily doing. So I think just getting into a better mindset and being a little bit less anxious. You know, I was very anxious, and I think some of that stemmed from the pandemic, but that might have also been affecting why I wasn't getting pregnant, right? Like I was in my head. So I think just having control, like you guys gave me a plan, and I was like, okay, we're going to try this and we're going to see if it works. And I don't just need to go down an IVF path. I can try this first before we have to go there.
Awesome.
I know that. And when you say, like you were anxious about stuff, do you feel like once you started going through our treatments, like, did it help with the anxiety? And like, how do you think that it did play a part in it, if it did help?
Yeah, I definitely do. I think even just coming for the treatments and having, you know, an hour to myself to just relax and listen to music. And we talked about the importance of meditation and really visualizing, like seeing what you want and hoping that that would come to fruition, right? Like really just doing these visualization exercises as much as I could, of trying to see that this could be a possibility. So I think, you know, it felt like it was really something that it was me taking care of myself and doing this for myself to help with my fertility. And so I think I felt more relaxed leaving the appointment, you know, the treatment. But then also when I started taking some of the supplements that you had me on, like the L-theanine, there were some other ones that help with hormonal alignment, the selenium, you know, selenium, that really seemed to kind of like just take the edge off of some of my anxiety. I felt different. It's hard to put it into words, but like I felt better. I felt like I was sleeping better. You know, I was taking the magnesium, which I also was not taking. I think the combination of the entire program, and like you guys always checking in, we're talking, how are you feeling? Even though I wasn't sure how it was going to go, like I felt really good.
So you felt like more hopeful about the
Yeah,
whole thing?
definitely. For
I know, I
sure.
totally forgot about like the visualization stuff, Leanne. Like, I think we stopped doing that with some of our clients.
It's
And
hard. It's hard. Like for me, that part I really struggled with because
yeah,
I'm like, how do I do this? Because in a way, like when you're nervous about something and you're like, is it going to happen? And it's hard to see that. Like it's hard to be like, okay, but like if you think it, it can happen.
right.
And I'm like, how do
Yeah.
I think it if I'm not sure?
I know.
I think with Sarah, we kind of noticed with you that that may have been like a block too, with you did come off right off the bat as like really like on a time crunch and like really having a lot of like anxiety about not getting pregnant. So to us, I think the visualization and the relaxing and like trying to get your thoughts managed and inspire like more of a hopeful outcome um really helped you. There's some clients that we have that have like that under control, but then don't also have, the knowledge of like, ovulation tracking and what supplements and stuff like that and lifestyle changes. But you do like you're very like keyed in on a lot of good lifestyle habits and stuff like that. I think so we were like keyed into like just kind of helping you. It's so hard because a lot of doctors and the environment tells you that when you're old it's like a no-go, so you're trying to like you're trying to prove people wrong, but in that sense you're also doubting yourself. So
Totally.
I think
And I wouldn't
getting
even
through
say I
that
thought
that
like it
mud.
was going to be like that going into it, right? But like as each month went by, I'm like, it's another month, and I'm getting to what, like now getting closer to 40, you know, 41. Like I was just in my head, and
I know. A
the
lot of
doctors,
women do that.
yeah. they're like, well, if it's 6 months, then we need to make an appointment at IVF. So at that point I was like, okay, well, we'll just make the appointment and see what happens. And I was going to see you guys, and that wasn't until August. So I thought, at least I'm set. Like either way, I have options. So let's just see what happens. And I'm going to try to like let go of my worries.
Awesome.
And it worked.
Yeah, it really did.
So do you think that, do you think that other women, it would be beneficial for them to like go through like a guided program and, try and target some of the things that are holding them back? Maybe it's lifestyle, or maybe it's mindset, maybe it's, managing stress, or, kind of getting like their hormones in balance and stuff like that. Do you think
Because
that?
we see that a lot of
Absolutely.
women think that like, just kind of what you did in the beginning, you research a lot, you read a lot, and you're like, okay, I'm going to eat a certain way, and I'm going to take this prenatal, and then maybe I'll do this vitamin here and there. So
Yeah.
I think they think that they have it, right? Like that they have all the tools that they need to do it naturally. But like looking back at it, yeah, like would you say that like, it was helpful for you to be guided, to just be like, well, these are the other things that you can do,
Absolutely. Because even as much as I research, I had no idea that some of those other options would help me. And so, you're so much well versed in this, like this is your expertise. And so I don't know that I could have figured that out on my own. And like you said, like I already knew more than maybe like some other people would know. But I think having a program and being able to follow that and have someone that can help you navigate it is so helpful. I just felt like that makes such a difference, right? Like in anybody that's struggling with something, to have that navigation and those people that you can ask questions to, and they can put together a plan and say, okay, let's follow this. And then if it's not working after like a certain amount of time, then okay, like then we talk about it. But I think it was so helpful and made me feel like, hopeful and just more in control of my situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a lot of the missing links too, is that women feel like they don't have a hand in stuff. And even if when they do go or if they do go through IVF, everything is out of their control. Like they don't really have anything to grasp onto as their own, journey. Like what am I doing for myself? So they feel so out of control, and they have no, they're not taking part um in their own success of conceiving. So
Yeah.
And I think like for me, the way I learn the best or do things better is if there is like a structure, right? Like
Same. Totally.
if it's like, okay, then I should, all right, now I'm going to do this, and next week I should do this. Like, I think it's just I work better that way. And, I feel like a lot of other people do. And so I think that's kind of what helped for you too, just kind of like having it laid out for you and like, all right, these are the steps that you need to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then like reminding me and following up with me. I just thought that was so helpful. It just kept me on the right path.
Oh, awesome.
great.
Well, you're a star client, Sarah.
Yeah. You did a
Thank
great
you.
job,
You
Sarah.
did.
We are.
I mean, honestly, like it's so crazy because, I started talking to you guys in January, and then I got my 2 treatments in February, and then I found out I was pregnant in March. So it's very hard for me to say there's no way it wasn't what you guys did. Like the timing there,
Oh.
it's, you know what I mean? Like it's just impossible for it to be anything else. And I just like I very much attribute it to like what you guys were able to do and help me with. Like I just think everything came together in a way where like it was finally like I was ready to conceive,
We were
and
just the missing link.
totally. I really
Awesome.
do believe that. And it was just amazing. I was nervous because it was something new and I had such faith in it. But like, we talked about it's possible your period might change, and I ovulated at a different time. And I was like, oh no, this
Yeah.
could take a little while.
Yeah.
But
So just one last statement, Sarah. If you can give someone advice like that is going through like infertility and not really knowing like what to do next, or is there anything that you could advise them on as far as getting from where you were to where you are now as a proud mama of two?
Yeah. I think looking into like all your options is so important. Not feeling like there's just one way to go. I think a lot of times you just feel like there's one solution, and that's, IVF, and um, that there are more options besides that. Obviously, your practice is available, and that, like, I didn't even know about that at all, like that was even a thing. I had no clue, and I honestly don't know that I would have known about it researching about it. I found you, and I think I was meant to find you guys, but there's acupuncture, there's things that you can do before you get to the IVF place. And I'm not saying there's not a place for that, because some women just still can't, they have trouble conceiving. Absolutely. Regardless of what they do. But I think there's so much more that's available to you. And I also think like the mental health component is really important too, right? Like, I think for me, that was also getting in my way. And a lot of like what we talked about was the stuff that I was feeling from the pandemic. Sometimes it takes time for your body to catch up after you've been through a tough time. And so I think working with you and trying to manage some of that, getting therapy and having a therapist, like having all the resources in place to ensure like I give myself the best possible chance of conceiving. And so I think it's easy to feel hopeless and like there's not a lot out there, but there really is. And I think it's important to give those things a chance, before you feel like there's nothing left.
Awesome. Thank you.
Very well said.
So yeah. If anybody listening to this wants to reach out and find us, you can find us on www.reinventivefertility.com, and you can find our virtual program on there as well as in-person sessions if you need to. Thank you, Sarah, so much.
Yeah, thanks, Sarah. Thank you for your time.
It's also inspiring for us as practitioners it just feels so good.
Yeah. We appreciate you having like faith in us and trusting us, with your journey.
It's huge. I never like had any doubts. You guys were just so knowledgeable, and like I said, like the process was so enjoyable and great for me, that like, I don't know, I felt taken care of. And that's like really special when you're going through a tough time and you're not sure. Like, I never felt like you guys didn't think it was going to happen. Like I knew you knew before, like maybe I knew.
I think I said it to Leanne, like after we talked to you, I'm like, she's gonna be pregnant.
We always Sandra and I always have a phone call after we work with somebody. We're like, she's going to be pregnant. She's going to be pregnant. Yep,
I said, I'm like, Sarah's going to be pregnant soon. Like,
we don't want to share that with our clients too much, because we don't want to instill false hope. But in the background, Sandra and I are like, yep, she's pregnant. She's going to be pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are great. Yeah. I mean, I was honestly like sad because I liked our interaction so much. And I'm like, well, now I'm pregnant, so I don't get to talk to them or see them as much.
Oh. Well, if you ever want to go for your third, you know where to find us.
Sandra, I wish, but like, if I was not this age, I mean, this age is not that old, but like if I was in my 30s, I do feel like there is a reason people have kids young. There's more stamina there.
I feel the same way. People always ask me if I'm going to have a second. I'm like, no. I'm like,
and then I'm also like outnumbered. I'm good with two. Like at this point, we each have one, and that's it.
Oh, yes. Well, we're so happy for you, and so happy that everything turned out great. And
thanks, guys. I honestly am so indebted to you. I would love to get together for drinks. I'd love to get the kids together. Just let me know. I mean, July is a little busy on the weekends, but August we have nothing.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'd love to see you too, Leanne. Like, even if we want to grab drinks or something, I'd love that.
I'll come out to you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, we have to do that soon.
That
Yeah,
would be
I
fun.
would love
Absolutely.
that.
All right. We'll touch base. Thank you, Sarah.
Okay. Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
thanks
Take
again,
care.
Sarah.
It's great
Enjoy
seeing
your
you.
weekend.
You too. Bye.
Bye.